barrettes tied to ponytails and cartoons, distracting you from more than just the animation of a smile your mother will sketch on to stay drawn to mine, my princess. I will answer all math problems until the 7th grade.
We timed our escape around his snoring, opening the front door an inch for each noisy exhale.
Ultimately, if you consider the start of what poetry is, back to griots, back to shamans, back to the ways in which, in order for our stories to be told, we had to tell them. And then we had to go walk all kinds of miles barefoot to a village and tell that story, and they had to pass it up. You know, and the word, everything starts with the word. You know, like everything ends with the word. Your body's put in the ground and they say a word about it. When you marry your body to another body, there are vows to be said about it. Like, the word is so important, and I think it's really, really important for us, and you guys as the youth too, to explore the ways in which you can bend language to fit your narrative and to get people to listen to you.
I often suggest that people not just read poetry, you know, to search for the poetry in a good movie, in a good song, or in, you know, the average news article is often, I'd almost say littered with poetry, because, you know, so much of what is happening around you at all times is the reason why I think you become a poet, is because you see things very specifically and you're able to kind of like pinpoint the ways in which images and sound provoke you know, change or provoke testimony. And so I would just say to not just read poet.
I mean, it's always hard, but you just got to write through it. And you got to understand you're going to write some terrible stuff, and you're going to write some bars. But writing is always cool. And one of my favorite writers, Octavia Butler, she says that, right, that habit is more reliable than inspiration. And so, like, you just have to do it. And I'm learning to do that. It's not always perfect, but you just have to write through it, I think.
My habit is creating then, if that's the case, because I also don't believe in writer's block. I think that if I'm meant to be writing, I'm writing. If I'm meant to be swimming, I'm swimming. And so if I'm unable to connect with language, I'll move to some other genre. Like I love working with collage.
I 100%.
Well, I mean, I think that our own personal context, like the history of me, the history of Malcolm, that comes with a very specific language. Like the ways in which language resides within our bodies is very different than how it would live in someone, who's just chilling on the beach in their white linen suit, and a straw hat, and for us specifically as writers of color, we have language used against us on a daily basis. I mean, there are words that reporters use specifically to incite terror and fear, especially towards the Black body, and same with, immigration issues and all that's happening to my peeps in Arizona. It's going to make me really teary-eyed. Just the ways in which they are presented and the names that they are given, and the forming of an opinion based on very specific words chosen. I think it's our duty to kind of dismantle that and to turn language around and, like I said earlier, make it fit and bleed our blood and make it fit within our narrative so that we are able to testify. I mean, we are witnesses constantly, and it is our duty to testify. It's almost, it's such a necessity for us to present ourselves and not as some caricature that's been built by white America.